guys, if you're new to Deception Bytes, hit the like and subscribe button and be sure to hit the bell to be notified of future videos. If you wish to support the channel, the links are in the description below. Now, fasten your seatbelt. Here we go. Okay guys, I'm back and it's Sunday, March 3rd, and we are going to get into the Q posts from today. There's a lot of them. I can't guarantee I can do it in one video, but I'm going to try. If I can't, I'll split it into two, but I am going to push through tonight and get this done, get us caught up. So let's get to it. All right, this is the first drop from today, March 3rd, and we're going to look at this. Q is making reference to an earlier post of his, and which contains one from July 3rd and another from May 10th. So let's look at those. Q obviously feels that they're important or he wouldn't have included them. So normally intelligence passed on from a member of the Five Eyes Alliance, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, the UK, and the US to another member comes through an official channel for intelligence sharing. However, Nunes, upon reviewing the document that formally launched the FBI's investigation, said there was no intelligence shared through that official channel, meaning that the intelligence was shared through unofficial means. Q. The second one says, read below slowly and carefully. Let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger so some of you guys can see it, because I know it's difficult when you're on a phone. Read below slowly and carefully. Five Eye. Why do former dignitaries still hold security clearance? US to US equals looped, flagged, recorded. So if you are in the United States and you want to spy on another American through Five Eyes, it'll be logged, it'll be flagged, and it'll be recorded. So if anybody wanted to check up, they would know that you looked that up. But a US person, if they go to New Zealand to look up that exact same information on an American citizen, there's no logs, no flags, no records. Equals US security clearance authorize Five Eye view plus document take. Not only can they view it, they can take that document with them. And interestingly enough, the former dignitaries, like, say, Hillary Clinton, and any number of them, still have security clearance. So she can go over to New Zealand and let's say she wants to spy on Trump. Well, she can. It's not going to be flagged, it's not going to be recorded, and it's not going to be logged. And not only can she view it, she can take it with her. So read above slowly and carefully. So Q wants to make sure that we understand this, that if somebody is in the United States and wanting to look up something on Trump or anybody in his administration or anybody that they so desire to look up, they can't because it's logged and recorded and flagged. So it'll be flagged. Well, if it's flagged, somebody has to review that flag. So they're going to know. But let's go to New Zealand or Canada or wherever and do the exact same thing. And not only can they view it, they can take it with them using their security clearance that they still have, even though they're not in a position to need that any longer. So isn't that interesting? Why do we allow former dignitaries security clearance? That's a very good question because I think it's dangerous. If you're no longer in a position to need that clearance, you shouldn't have it. It's the same thing. If you work for a police department, they don't let you take your badge with you when you quit or when your job is done, when your contract's up. You don't take your badge with you. You don't take your gun with you. No, you turn everything in, including any authorization you had to access information. I used to work for the police. I know. You don't take anything with you. You can no longer look up stuff, that you might want to look up, like license plates or anything like that. You no longer have that because you're not an officer anymore. You've quit, or in my case, my contract was up and I wanted to move to the States. So, yeah, That's exactly what Q is trying to get across to us here so that we understand, because we need that basic understanding for what comes next. Now, beneath that, Q has given us a link to George Papadopoulos. I love that name, Papadopolis. Let's say it one more time, Papadopolis. I know, I'm sorry. You have to indulge me every once in a while. All right, and here it is. Let's go and take a look at that first. And George Papadopoulos, yes, I said Papadopoulos, says the following. Clapper has gone awfully silent since his month-long adventure in Australia, where he discussed how to cover up both his and Australia's involvement in spying on me and others. Remember his testimony to Congress. I never heard of Papadopoulos. His perjury is going to come back. Yes, it is. That from Papadopoulos, George Papadopoulos. All right, so yeah, Clapper went to Australia for a month and was discussing with them how to cover up the fact that they spied on Papadopoulos. Yeah, and then to Congress, he lied, perjured himself by saying, oh, I never heard of Papadopoulos. Imagine never hearing about Papadopoulos. I would be sad because I love that name, Papadopoulos. Okay, I'm going on now. So after that, Q says rat bait. Rat bait. Stay in the light. Q. Interesting. You know, it's beginning to dawn on me how much a lot of what has happened has been baiting the enemy and baiting them to do certain things and react in certain ways. And, you know, it's just becoming so crystal clear to me that, wow, they've had this all laid out with military precision, and they've given disinfo at times to trap the enemy. Rat bait. That's exactly what it is. So, let's go on. Shall we? Certainly we shall. And here is, no, that isn't the beginning of the next one. We have to go way up here. And Q is referencing the tweet that we just, or the drop rather, that we just looked at. He's referencing that and adding to it. He's adding this from April 15th, 2018. Reread Five Eyes. Avoid U.S. data collection laws. That's what they're doing by having Five Eyes. They avoid the U.S. collection laws because they can't collect data on U.S. citizens. But Australia can, Canada can, New Zealand can. Yeah, so the U.K. can, Australia. So yeah, they can collect it on U.S. citizens. So this is how they avoid the data collection laws. Hussein, public, dossier, FISA, not public, Five Eyes, UK/Australia, POTUS, targeting, using pushed Russian decoy meetings, campaign insertions. Now, he's saying, okay, it's out there in the public about the dossier and the FISA, but what's not in the public is how they used Five Eyes, how they used foreign intelligence, the UK, Australia, how they targeted POTUS using the Russian decoy meetings like Trump Tower meeting, and how they inserted these people into his campaign. You know, and Hussein, Hillary Rodham Clinton, Loretta Lynch, Brennan, Clapper, national security, White House Situation Room operation, UK, Australia, assisted and helped set up. Q. Uh-oh. Someone's in big trouble. Now, I would assume that this means Situation Room. I could not think of anything else that it would apply to, so I believe this is national security and White House Situation Room, and we know that something went on down in the Situation Room. It's been alluded to before. So there you go, and there you go. So let's go on, because we can, and because we will. And let's go up to the next one. which begins right here. Now, in this post, Q is, again, alluding to an earlier post of his from March. Well, no, actually, sorry. Q is alluding to his own post from that we just looked at. The reread Five Eyes, avoid U.S. data collection laws. Okay, the one that we just looked at, he's referencing that, and then below he's giving us additional information. And that additional information we've looked at before too. Hang on. And it's this. And it looks like a dog's breakfast or a cat's breakfast. I don't know. One or the other. It looks like breakfast. Maybe I'm just hungry. I am a little hungry. Okay. And it's this. And it looks really confusing. And it is a little bit confusing the way that he's done it. It makes sense though when you look at it and pull it apart. And I would do that, except somebody has already done an absolute superior job. So why reinvent the wheel? This is by Extrovert Covert, and it's from the website Disclosure Italia. And he has done a bang-up super job on getting this, on decoding this. So this is what I want us to look at. Okay, he takes all of these and he says, a silent preemptive coup d'etat was attempted through the White House, Hussein, Valerie Jarrett, Dennis McDonough, Joe Biden, Rahm Emanuel, John Kerry, JK in a triple kill box, Samantha Power, and Karen Mills. 2, Hillary Rodham Clinton / Democratic National Committee. CIA, John Brennan, felony classes 1 to 5, no such agency, strategic deployment exposed timetable. Director of National Intelligence, James Clapper. Department of Justice, Loretta Lynch, Sally Yates, Bruce Orr, Christopher Steele, UK, David Loftman, Peter Strzok, DL, not sure who that is, John Carlin, Mary McCord, Rachel Brand. 2, Bill Clinton. Some of the drop codes read in reverse. FBI, James Comey, Andrew McCabe, James Rybicki, Michael Steinbeck, Mike Presap, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, James Baker, Michael Cortan, Josh Campbell, Sally Moyer, Tashina Gohar, Kevin Kleinsmith. So information was flowing both ways there, and information was flowing both ways here, to Bill Clinton to them, and from them to Bill Clinton. And here it was flowing both ways as well from the FBI. Hillary Rodham Clinton, Bill Clinton, Huma Abedin, Cheryl Mills, or, Chelsea Mevzinski. Chelsea isn't smart enough, but she's family. 10 dots equals deep state fake news. No Name Media, John Brennan. No Name, of course, is McStain. John Brennan, James Comey, leaks of the daily briefing by FBI officials. That's what they were doing. They were leaking the daily briefings. Fusion GPS is Shell 2, Christopher Steele, to No Name, to McCain. So all the Fusion GPS, Christopher Steele to No Name. Perkins Coie is Shell 2. The shell notations appear to be substitutes for the names, which likely cannot be given at this time, or in this context, we may know those individuals or groups, but today they remain unverified. So Perkins Coie, Washington Free Beacon, like this is all the involvement and which way direction information was flowing. And I mean, it's so extensive. This is like Watergate on steroids. Seriously. Watergate was like a little pebble thrown into the ocean compared to this. Hillary Rodham Clinton, John Podesta, Robbie Mook, DNC, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, James Clapper or James Comey, UK, PM, so the UK Prime Minister, MI6, SIS, spy activities, UK intelligence agencies were actively helping Five Eyes, CrowdStrike, Perkins Coie retained Fusion GPS to conduct the questionable research on behalf of both the Clinton campaign and the DNC that ultimately resulted in the now infamous, largely discredited dossier claiming that President Trump's campaign colluded with Russia. Michael Sussman, a partner with Perkins Coie, who also represented the DNC, was involved in bringing in CrowdStrike after the DNC suspected its servers had been hacked. CrowdStrike then identified hacker groups allegedly tied to Russia. Yeah, right. The tarmac meet was about no charges for Hillary Rodham Clinton in exchange for a Supreme Court seat. Earlier meetings led to the Bill Clinton Loretta Lynch tarmac meet. Hussein passes 3 national security orders as a stealth cover methodology. POTUS 45 can declassify actions surrounding those orders. The FISA warrant conspiracy moves forward. UK becomes involved and passes surveillance through their Five Eye networking format. The CIA was involved surveilling domestically. In this, they have no dispensation. It is not their character to operate domestically. This was John Brennan's command working under Hussein's administration. It all points to the top, to Hussein and his deep state overlords. They didn't see that with all of their redundancies, she could still lose. And she did. Thank you, Lord. Really, I don't mean that disrespectful to the Lord at all. I am very, very grateful. So let's go on. Again, this is stuff we've looked at before, but it's important because it lays the foundation for everything that's coming. Because here we have this anon says D-class coming with 11 exclamation marks. And Q acknowledges that. He doesn't correct him. He doesn't say, well, it'll be a while. No, he says D-class coming, and Q acknowledges that. So let's go on. And I don't know, because this came from an anon, if Q had written this, I might put a lot of credence in the fact that there are 11 exclamation points. But the fact that this came from an anon, no, I don't know, because I don't know how that anon would know when it was going to be declassified. But originally I thought, 11 days. But this didn't come from Q, so I don't think that we can put any credence in why there are 11 exclamation points. I guess the person was really excited. Okay, let's move on. And this one, Q alludes to this one by another drop by an anon that says March Madness incoming, and Q acknowledges that. Yeah, it's coming in March. Coming in March, I can guarantee it. After reading through all of these posts and looking at them carefully, yeah, I would, well, I don't know. If it didn't come in March, then I would really wonder about my ability to understand anything. But that's what I take from all of these posts, and I think that you will too once we go through them all. So, March Madness incoming, and Q acknowledges. And this, Q is referencing this by another anon, and it says Q proof, and it says proofs are important, Q, and which Q has said in the past, and Q has acknowledged this. Well, let's go take a look at what this is, this Q proof is, that Q has alluded to, because even though an anon writes it, anons write tons and tons of stuff, but when Q acknowledges it, generally he's either acknowledging it to correct it or he's acknowledging it because it's right on. And in this case, he's acknowledging it because it's right on. All right, so let's take a look at what this Q proof is. This was issued on September 17th, statement from the press secretary, and over here, September 17th, week of, September 17th, week of, and it says D-class coming, more incriminating text releases coming, dark to light, carpet bombs, lead to the mother of all bombs. And remember, he said carpet bombs are good, but a tactical nuke is better. And why? because when you drop in carpet bombs, you're just dropping them indiscriminately. It's, you know, you got an airplane with a big bay and it's just dropping these bombs as it's flying, and they're landing where they will. There's no real strategy except, you know, they obviously know the area that they're targeting. They're not just going to, you know, drop it on a civilian houses or whatever. But, you know, that's carpet bombs. But a tactical nuke, oh, it knows its target, and it's going to go right for that target. And there's no escape. That target's not escaping. So he's saying right here, and this was September 15th, 2018, carpet bombs lead to the mother of all bombs, Q. So this was the September 17th, and then over here we have the statement from the press secretary. At the request of a number of committees of Congress and for reasons of transparency, the President has directed the Office of the Director of National Intelligence and the Department of Justice, including the FBI, to provide for the immediate declassification of the following materials. 1, pages 10 to 12 and 17 to 34 of the June 2017 application to the FISA court in the matter of Carter W. Page. 2, all the FBI reports of interviews with Bruce Orr prepared in connection with the Russia investigation. And 3, all FBI reports of interviews prepared in connection with all the Carter Page FISA applications. In addition, President Donald J. Trump has directed the Department of Justice, including the FBI, to publicly release all text messages relating to the Russia investigation without redaction of James Comey, Andrew McCabe, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, and Bruce Orr. And over here, declass coming, more incriminating text releases coming. And he asks that with a question mark. Well, obviously they are, because we see over here that they're being declassified. All right, so let's get out of there and go back to, well, look at that. My first video got uploaded. That's good. Some of you are probably viewing it right now, but not you guys that are listening right now, because you couldn't be. You can't be watching 2 at once. All right, so Q acknowledges this as, yep, given a nod there. And here is the next one, March 3rd, today. And he is referencing an anon, but that anon is actually, part of this is just quoting a past bread of Q. So it says, declass of FISA will initiate the resignation, recusal, and or removal of Rod Rosenstein. Declass of FISA will initiate the awareness that all signers will be currently under investigation. It says signers will be, but then he puts in brackets, they're currently. No, it's not that they will be under investigation. Oh, they already are. Declass of FISA will factually demonstrate without argument the U.S. government under Hussein knowingly presented false evidence to the FISA court in an effort to obtain legal U.S. intelligence umbrella surveillance of POTUS, he was the identified target, for the sole purpose of influencing the 2016 election of the presidency. Not Russia, but Hussein / Hillary Rodham Clinton. Projection? Of course. They were blaming him for doing what they were doing. Plus safeguard against possible loss of power, firewalls, use of back channel surveillance / spy insertion, body 1, 2, and 5, by UK, Australia, primary, activated under Director Brennan, Director Clapper, with PDB, Presidential Daily Briefing, regular updates, plus live streaming, White House, Hussein non-oval situation room, coordination, FISA, the full FISA brings down the House, White House, Q. And this anon underneath said, huge happenings coming. Love that. Huge happenings coming. That would make a good song, wouldn't it? Anyway, and Q acknowledges this, gives it a nod. Sure is. Huge happenings. They're a-coming. Here they come. The carpet bombs are over. Time for the nuke. Yep. Alrighty. Now, let's go on, shall we? Here is the next one. I don't know how long I've been going here, and but I think we'll go a little longer. I don't think I've been going that long. Okay, here's the next one. And this is Q. He says physical, and he's referencing a previous post, and I've put that post below because to me it was confusing until I went and found that post and posted it beneath, and then I went, oh yeah, that makes sense. Okay, physical landscape, plus or minus. So the physical landscape, any additions or any subtractions, proves it could not have taken place pre-2016. The operation was active pre-announcement, and that means pre-POTUS announcement that he was running for president, or announcement that he was, I'm not sure if that's the announcement that he's running or the announcement that he is the primary, that he is the candidate for the Republican Party. I guess either one would work. Intel awareness pre-2016, Q. Now, Q's going to correct this in a bit. So he really meant that that it was not taken after 2016. So it was taken in 2015. This picture was taken in 2015 before POTUS announced. So here is the picture, and we all remember that. I'm not going to link to the big picture because we've looked at it before, and here, these two tiny little dots there are Strzok and Page. And here it says, this picture is from early 2015, months before POTUS went down the escalator. And we all remember those pictures of POTUS and FLOTUS. Well, they weren't then, but coming down the escalator. And Five Eye in play long before we have been saying. So Five Eyes, their surveillance of Trump was way before he even announced that he was running. Or maybe not that he announced, but that he was maybe the Republican candidate. So that's a little odd, don't you think? So Q meant to say that the picture could not have been taken post 2016. So it happened in 2015. He corrects himself in a later post, and we're going to see that. So why did they have surveillance on him before they even knew for sure that he was the Republican contender? Why did they do that? Well, let's go on. Here is the next one. Q is making reference to an earlier post. Well, no, he's not. I'm sorry. Q is making reference to an Anon's post that says, so it was known what was happening with the deep state, but this trip happened in 2016. Now, POTUS a little later is going to correct that. So no, it did not happen in 2016. It happened in 2015 before POTUS, they even knew that Trump was the Republican candidate. Yeah. So underneath this, Q says POTUS formally announced his candidacy on June 16th, 2015. Why did the Hillary Rodham Clinton campaign actively work to push POTUS as the right candidate for the GOP? Why do you think she did that? She despises him. Why do you think she would have pushed for him to be the candidate? Because she thought he would be the easiest one to win against. He thought there is no chance. There is no chance of, he's got a snowball's chance in Hades of ever getting into office. That's what she thought. And that's what all of the mainstream media pushed. They all said, oh, he'll never be president. Give me a break. They laughed. They all laughed. They thought it was a big joke. Not now. Nobody's laughing now. But sure, that's why she pushed him. It was either him or Cruz, and she figured that Trump would be much easier to win against. I mean, what was she thinking? Talk about underestimating somebody, really. So, why did the Hillary Rodham Clinton campaign publicly attack POTUS opponents? Why? Because they wanted to make sure that Hillary was running against Trump. Because she thought he doesn't have any political experience whatsoever, and he won't have a clue, and I am going to win by a landslide. That's what she thought. She probably also thought he was stupid, which is a mistake people often make to their own peril. So I think that's why she attacked his opponents. Why did the Hillary Rodham Clinton campaign want POTUS to be the nominee? Well, for the same reason. Did the fake news play along? Oh, they sure did. Sure they did. Think pre-nominee. What setup insurance file was created assuming POTUS would become the nominee? Well, that is when they went to work getting this whole Russia narrative concocted, which is what it was, concocted. Because that was their insurance policy. Because she had to have a way that, well, okay, what if by a long shot he gets in? What then? Well, we have to, because they have to think all these things through several steps in advance. So she's thinking, okay, yeah, there's no way he'll win, but what if he does? Well, then we'll have this insurance policy in place that will just knock him out. So, and then I'll be in. That's exactly what they did. That's why. So they had this insurance policy just in case he got in. And as soon as he got in, that insurance policy went into effect. So, POTUS 1, Cruz 2. Was Cruz the target of a separate illegal spy campaign? Yes, he was. Yes, he was. They were spying on both Cruz and POTUS before they even knew who the nominee was. Yes, they were. How do you like that? Once Cruz and Trump were frontrunners, the deep state started surveillance on each. The Russian collusion narrative was insurance against Trump winning. Pretty wild, isn't it? It sure is. All right. Okay, let's go up to the next one. And this is Q. And, okay. And Q is referencing the one that we already looked at that said D class will, oh, no, this is different. Sorry. Pardon me. All right. This is, okay, last bread. It says D class will destroy their last stand. Schumer and Pelosi. Now, raise your hand if you'll be sad to see either of them go. I don't see any hands. I didn't think so. FISA will be the start and prepare public for Huber. Ooh. FISA equals start. FISA equals immediate confirmation of illegal acts regarding the signers. FISA equals immediate confirmation of the start of Hussein spy campaign to rig an election was based on false info. FISA equals it implicates Hillary Rodham Clinton, the Democratic Party, as feeders of false info with the intent of securing mainstream media plus blast insurance. FISA implicates senior members of the UK, MI5, 6, SIS, US Intel, White House, Five Eye, Republican Party, Congress, Senate, of known corruption in effort to retain power and rig election, plus safeguard events by political kill to act while in power given mainstream media fake push Russia narrative. So, you know, when Trump told us don't worry so much that the Dems had won the House, he knows what's coming down the line. And he knows that this FISA declassification is going to take out a lot of people. And it's going to be that maybe some of them will resign, many some may be forced to resign, and some, the public, may demand they resign. So anyway, FISA equals, it ties the mainstream media heads, TV, those behind the camera, in front of the camera, and the entire corporation to the Democratic Party, other foreign heads of state in cooperation strategy. FISA brings down the House. Freedom of information does not include FISA. D-class by POTUS, key parts that factually demonstrate the dirty fake dossier was used as a primary source to secure highest level of intel spying on primary Republican opponent, plus post-election intel assets for domestic spying on the President of the United States for the office of the Presidency of the United States of America. So they were literally spying, and not just them, but heads of state and foreign assets and intel assets. They were spying on the President of the United States so that someone else could gain the office. This is unprecedented. It's unprecedented. Public awareness of FISA spying, foundation built for Huber. So the declassification will build the foundation that Huber needs. And Huber is the one that's bringing all these indictments. Zillions of them. Okay, I'm exaggerating a little, but there's a lot of them. All right. No spelling errors intended, mobile, unknown if above. So what he's saying is, if I've made any spelling errors above, disregard, because I'm on a mobile phone. Q. And Q is acknowledging this. So this anon is just, copying and pasting from a past bread. Q is acknowledging, yep, that's right. And so we can go on now. Oh, hang on, I don't know if I had any additional notes below that. This is a repost of number 1745, which tells us that the beginning of number 2 action is draining the swamp. They never thought she would lose, but now that she has, she and others will face the consequences. Oh, yes, yes, they will. Let's go on. And this one, basically, he is just, he is referencing his past post here with a physical landscape, plus or minus, proves it could not have been taken pre-2016. He is here correcting himself. He is referencing this and saying, correction, could not have been taken post-2016. Think 2015, long day, Q. Well, you know what? We all have those days, and so we don't hold it against him. He's corrected it. This is just a correction of prior post 2926. All right, now let me see how much further we have to go and whether I should split the video, because I do not want to. I think we got a ways to go. Oh yeah, we got a ways to go. Okay, I'm going to do a couple more, and then I'm going to split it and start a new one. While this uploads, then I will continue on. All right. Okay, so we were here. Now, let's go on here. I'm going to do a couple more, and then I'm going to split the video. All right, so here is the next one, and Q is making reference to this anon who said, so it was known what was happening with the deep state, but this trip happened in 2016? No, well, Q has corrected that. Now, below, Q referenced this post by the anon and says, POTUS formally announced his candidacy on June 16th, 2015. Why did the Hillary Rodham Clinton campaign actively work to push POTUS as the right candidate for the GOP? Why did Hillary Clinton campaign publicly? And we've already looked at this, so I'm not sure why he's just repeating the exact same thing here. But it says, once Cruz and Trump were frontrunners, the deep state started surveillance on each. The Russian collusion narrative was insurance against Trump winning, which of course he did. And that's why all we've heard for 2 years is, well, longer than 2 years. Russia, Russia, Russia. It's all Russia. You know, when people, push back against this false narrative, oh, it's the Russian bots. We're being attacked by Russian bots. I mean, these people really are stupid. Well, either that or they think we are incredibly stupid, which it could be either one. But it's pretty wild. All right. Now, let's go up to... Did we already look at this? Okay, you know what? I'm sorry. I was like, I restarted in the wrong place. So we've already looked at this, and here we go. Here, Q is correcting that post, and see, I shouldn't have gone up there looking at how many posts we have left. All right, and okay. Now this is the Q proofs, and beneath that, Q says, he's posted this again, and he says, important to remember, POTUS has already ordered the D class per Q proof September 17th. He's awaiting the DOJ, IG, now bar, plus the OIG to proceed with the order. Optics are important. Delay by design, post order to D class, yes. Tactics, benefits, Rod Rosenstein, or they're in the kill boxes there, Q. So the D class was ordered on September 17th of this year, of last year actually, just this past September. That would have been 2018, when Sessions was still in his position as the Attorney General. On November 7th, Sessions resigned and Whitaker was installed as the acting Attorney General, who was just there as an interim until the actual new Attorney General was installed. So Whitaker was installed as the acting Attorney General. Then Barr was confirmed as Attorney General on February 14th. Was this a Valentine's Day gift from Q or POTUS? I don't know. But Barr is in there now, and he is confirmed. He is less opposed by the Dems than either Sessions or Whitaker because he was actually friends with Mueller. So, yeah, optics are important. Now, Q is telling us here that he's waiting the DOJ, IG, now Barr, the DOJ, the Inspector General, now Barr, plus the Office of the Inspector General to proceed with the order. Optics are important. Delay by design, post order to D-class. Yes, I do believe that the delay was by design. I believe that obviously it was done for a reason. I'm not sure exactly what that reason was or what the benefits of that would be, but he puts RR and OR in kill boxes, and I wonder, I don't know, but I wonder if they are cooperating witnesses. I assume that they are. I don't know that for sure, but I assume that they are. All right, let's go on. Okay, now, this one is making reference to a post from an Anon. It says, Q, was POTUS recruited, they're asking a question of Q. Q, was POTUS recruited later in campaign? According to this timeline, Donald J. Trump was a loose cannon. Now, think of, now Q responds to this and says, think formation of the Freedom Caucus. Think Freedom Caucus today. Think Jim Jordan. Think Mark Meadows. Q. Now, I thought this decode was done very, very well, so I've included it. It is by Lisa Mae Crowley, and it was on the website Disclosure Italia, and I've included it here, but I want to give full credit to her. She is an incredibly intelligent woman, and I do enjoy some of her decodes because I think they're well done. So, Freedom Caucus was formed on the 26th of January 2015 by what Jim Jordan called a smaller, more cohesive, more agile, and more active group of conservative congressmen. Mark Meadows is the current chair. POTUS had high praise for Meadows and Jordan yesterday at CPAC. Did they ask Trump to run? I don't know. CPAC is the Conservative Political Action Committee. Had to think about that for a minute. Since Q brought up Freedom Caucus, established on 26th of January 2015, it's clear they were always part of the plan. POTUS praised Jordan and Meadows at CPAC. I believe Meadows is who POTUS was pointing to. I was about 15 rows back. Oh, I would have loved to have been there. Oh, I really would have loved to have been there. Anyway, and she references this. It's a post by Q from December 10th. And it says, POTUS, NSA, United States Military, G, the Freedom Caucus established, Foreign and Domestic Patriots, 2015, the fight to save the world, Q. So, I don't know if that answers all of our questions here, but it's a good start. Now, this one, Q is referencing an anon saying, we understood. Now, what is he saying that we understood? He's saying that, you know, when anon corrected the year, well, or when Q corrected the year, this anon is saying, it's okay, we understood. But Q is saying, roger that, anon, mass distribution of message creates the need to correct Q. So Q is returning to an earlier conversation about Strzok and Page in London. He understands that we anons understand, but because this info is distributed worldwide, he needs the correction to be on the record. So there you go. And certainly that makes sense. Now, I'm going to break here, and I'm going to come back with part 2 of March 3rd. This has been a really long post, and not only do I need to take a little break and get some water and, nature break. I'll come back as soon as this is uploaded. Well, actually, while it is uploading, I will be recording the second part. So let's break here. I hope I've explained this okay. There's a lot of information here, a lot. And I don't know if anybody really can do it justice, but I do try. So anyway, I will see you guys soon, hopefully, and take care, and I will be back. Really, it's a warning. Talk to you soon.